Here it is, the finale of season 1 of Solo Leveling. It's been an awesome, great 12 episodes, plus one extra if you want to count the recap episode, but we're not. It's been such a great, awesome ride, and I hope for those that have not read the manhwa at all, that this has been such a great anime as far as just the anime itself, regardless of the source material, because I feel as someone that has read the manhwa that this has stuck true to how the betrayal of what the manhwa is supposed to be. And even if they've trickled in some more information than honestly I normally would have known to begin with. I've said this before, and anything outside of Jinwoo, when it shows like the director and everybody else, that is kind of like other background information that is happening in the world that Jinwoo is in right now. Now, in the manhwa, all of this we didn't know about until a lot later in the manhwa. So all of this going to Jeju Island, you know, what are they going back for? What's happening? Like that was like something that was trickled in at the very beginning, and then nothing else was talked about at all. Like the whole manhwa centered around Jinwoo and his experience through things. Him learning about the island, him learning about all of the guilds and the people, the high-ranking people in these guilds. But here, as an audience, we get to kind of see more than just Jinwoo's experiences and what is happening in his life. We're seeing, oh, there's these other people that are S-class. The other guilds are trying to work towards going to this island for some reason, and things happened and people died. Oh, is this significant? What's happening? So thus this episode kind of made sure to give a lot of information about that, as well as the regular stuff that we know about Jinwoo, which I think is good because it does kind of fill in the gaps of the actual anime to where you're not just sitting here and it's just nothing but Jinwoo all the time. And then you're like, what's happening outside of just Jinwoo? Like, we're learning more about his sister. We've learned more about what's happening with the director. We learn about his friend, and of course, he's trying to do better than his brother and their construction company. All of that definitely was not in the manhwa, and kind of helps to round out the anime, which I think is a good thing because you, of course, have your comedic moments, but then you have your serious moments, and it's like, okay, all this other information may not be important right now, but as the seasons go on and episodes go on, you're going to be thankful that you know about, oh, that character and what they're going through, and oh, okay, that makes sense. So by the time they meet up with Jinwoo, it's like, I know what they've been up to, what they've been doing. So they don't have to have this big backstory episode about specific characters. And then you're like, oh, okay, all right. So I'm actually all for it in what they're doing and their direction that they're going in at this moment. I will have to say the special effects that they did here with Jinwoo and him getting his necromancer class, they did a really good job of this, because trust me, they didn't go this far into the actual graphics, if you will, in the manhwa. It's pretty sick. But as far as the differences in this episode, there really wasn't that much. I've already talked about how they kind of filled in some information about other people and the guilds and such that of course wasn't in the manhwa at this time. But I think the biggest part that was different, other than of course some changes in what they say in their synthesis and everything, what things that were done, the biggest change was Jinwoo disagreeing about being the necromancer class, because before, when it was saying analyzing, it kind of took a while, and he was sitting there thinking, oh, okay, you know, I have my points and strengths, so I could be a barbarian, I could be a berserker, or if I'm a class of a soldier, I could be like a sword master. So he's thinking of like all these classes, what their base class could be, and then their upgraded version could be. So of course, it kind of trickled that in as far as the different things when he was disagreeing with the system about like, why would I want to be a necromancer? Until, like most gamers, you come by and say, hey, by the way, that's a hidden skill, a hidden job skill. Are you sure you want to pass up on this offer? And then you start thinking, hidden you say, rare you say, huh? Okay, let me reconsider this. Maybe I should actually take up on this offer, which is great because he becomes a necromancer. With the points, he becomes a shadow monarch, as it said. So pretty cool. So we were right last week when we were talking about how Igris, the Blood Fallen, how the parallels between the fact that here he was protecting a throne that had no one sitting on it, and it kind of they touched on that in this episode when Jinwoo was like, Igris, follow me. Whomever you're after is here no longer. Serve me. And honestly, yes, Igris gets to bow down, serve Jinwoo. And honestly, Jinwoo comes in here. We've been having solo leveling, him doing everything on his own, and now he has an army. So, and he was like, these mages were pretty weak on their own, but he himself is a strong character. And now he has to go back and level up his intellect because he's been putting points into strength and agility. And it's like, well, he's gonna have to use all these skills. So I guess from now on, when he levels up, he's just gonna dump all his skills into intellect, because I'm sure that's gonna be very important. And now these guys actually come before him as his future army, which is only gonna grow as he levels up. I'm sure he's gonna be able to get more soldiers and get more skills to use in his necromancy. All I can say is this season has been pretty good. And as someone that, like I said, that read the manhwa, you gotta understand, I read it years ago. So there's a lot that I've forgotten. So as you're going through the season, if you're looking at my reactions, which are up on Patreon, and you kind of follow along and you're like, oh, he just knows what's gonna happen. It's been years since I read this, a very long time. So there's a lot of points that I've completely forgotten on. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's up? So please believe I'm not sitting here like, haha, I know what's gonna happen, and just kind of poking fun at stuff and just analyzing based on that. I'm analyzing it based on, I haven't read this in a very long time. So all my emotions and things they're saying are actual genuine. I'm not fabricating any of this up for views or something. But great anime, great show. This season, if I had to rate it, I'll probably give it an 8.5 because I know that it's a very good anime and it's been standing pretty well on its own. For those that have read the manhwa, I'm sure this is like even better, like a 9.5 as it goes on. But those that haven't read it, that just see it on their own, they'd probably be like, well, it's pretty good. It's probably like an 8 or so. So I feel it's like kind of in between. Really good. It's a really good starting point because I know that from here on, now that he has this job, if you will, as the Shadow Monarch, that as the rest of the seasons, I don't know however many they're going to do, as the rest of the seasons go on and the rest of this anime comes out, it's just going to get better. So we are, we've gotten rid of the weak Jinwoo, and we've learned his kind of story and how he's risen to this point right now, that from this point on, it's just gonna get better. And for those that did miss it, season 2 has been confirmed. There has been no official date as far as when season 2 comes out. A lot of people are speculating it will be sometime later this year. I would kind of feel the same way, like maybe the next winter season, kind of like this one, probably next, October, November timeframe, however that goes up until this point in next year. Don't know, but that's just my speculation. And hopefully, instead of just 12 episodes, we get 24 episodes. We get a whole second cur, so then more of this awesome anime continues. Because Lord knows I've been enjoying every moment of it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the analysis that I brought on it. We've been discussing, going over differences and going over Jinwoo as far as his character. He grew from someone that was very weak, E-Class, the weakest of all hunters, and was given another chance, a reawakening, if you will, and has become, or is becoming, one of the strongest because he's a hunter that can level up. While it was even established in this episode that that is an impossibility for any hunters unless they have their own reawakening and they kind of get from one class to another, like maybe from a B rank up to an S rank or A rank. But this guy is just going to get bigger, better, stronger over and over and over again. So until, it wouldn't surprise me, he just outclasses everyone. It's like no one can touch him. But we shall see what happens in the future. Like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this analysis, and I hope you guys have enjoyed all the reactions over on my Patreon, because it's been such a good anime this season. And we'll definitely be getting into other anime as the new season starts. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe for more. You guys be safe. Take care. And as always, have a good one. Be careful. And so long, Space Cowboy. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page. And thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.